brought in the National Guard with guns instead of food and water.
Yeah, they even have a story about one district there, how cops were trying to keep people out of an upscale neighborhood. And it just so happened that the people who were trying to go through the neighborhood to get to safety were, blacks, African Americans. So they shot over their heads. They didn't shoot at them. They shot over their heads, to keep them back. Obviously, somebody shoots over your head, you run in the other direction.
Yep.
So they kept them out of the neighborhood. But, of course, camera people and news people hear that, and, well, guess what? The only people around are blacks, so obviously they must be the ones doing the shooting.
Yeah, no, I think it's government sniping. I can't see anybody who has just suffered, lost everything they own. They're worried more about keeping their families together than they are running back and getting their belongings out of their houses, which would be shooting at rescue personnel coming in trying to help them.
Yeah,
that's insane.
It's insanity.
I mean, I'm sure, at night, it would probably get crazy. There's a lot of drug addicts or whatever that go through withdrawal and go crazy. Can't discount that either.
No, not at all.
But you can't tell me that people that have been in jail just all of a sudden within hours got their hands on AK-47s. It doesn't happen.
Sort of like that movie from Wesley Snipes made in '86 about crack cocaine, saying, "Look, my friend," when he was in court, drug dealers in the Bronx don't manufacture Uzis.
And you know what? Those men are going to be looking for their families. I mean, they just tried to mold and frame the issues of everything that's going down there to the way they want them to be.
Exactly.
And they don't make sense. I mean, most of those people in jail are probably in there for misdemeanors. Some most jails are filled with misdemeanors, people with DUIs or small-time drug possession. And so they're going to come out of jail, and especially in a crisis like that, they're going to be looking for their families.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to be busy with that. I mean, yeah, don't kill each other off if they're going to go at it, but I'll tell you what, there is no way that any of those people got a hold of an AK-47 without CIA help.
No.
There's no way.
Not going to happen. Order out of chaos.
Yep, and that's what they wanted. And so now they've got all these soldiers down there, with guns instead of food and water. And they didn't start bringing in food and water to that town until the soldiers started showing up. And I was reading that the governor had called the White House the day before the hurricane hit, even the day, or perhaps it was the day of, and she couldn't get a hold of anybody. She had to leave a message, and what they nicely said was a low-level advisor, which was probably the secretary or the answering service that answers their calls, the switchboard. There was nobody there for her to reach.
Unbelievable.
And she tried to call, and there's nobody there, because you know what? He's out strumming guitars across the country. Condoleezza Rice out in New York City buying shoes. Dick Cheney does what he does best, hiding in a base somewhere. There's nobody at the White House.
Hey, Sherry, I'm curious. If there's 14,000 National Guard troops in New Orleans, more of them than there are actual people there, and most of the city's cleared. It's only the people in their own homes, and they know where they are. They're guarding their homes. Why is it necessary for armed troops to be there? What are they doing?
And they got that Blackwater security in there. They've got thousands of them in there, and these guys make $350
what are they doing? What are they guarding against? Because the only people that are there are business people protecting their businesses and people staying in their homes protecting their homes, and they can't even get out without boats. So what are the 14,000 military and the contractors doing? What are they guarding against?
Yeah. And the people that they killed on the bridge were there to fix the levee, and they shot and killed them and said they were looters. They were government contractors coming to fix the levee. They didn't want the levee fixed. They didn't want it fixed. They want the destruction down there.
It's insane. I'm glad for programs like yours that get the information out. God bless you.
Yeah, it's not going to get any better. It's like I said, this is the beginning. And the next disaster is going to push Hurricane Katrina on the back seat. And you know what I mean? It's going to just keep going at it on. But right now we're seeing a police state coming out of this. That's what they wanted. That's what this whole thing is about, getting people conditioned that armed troops are going to go in to disaster recovery areas with their guns instead of food and water. That's what Americans can basically expect.
Did you see them playing their little game in L.A., trying to not make anything serious, but sort of like getting a laugh out of us, getting us nervous, what they did in L.A.? The little prank they pulled in L.A.?
Oh, the riots?
No, with today the lights were out in L.A. for quite a while.
Oh, well, you know what? We've had a lot of sun flares coming off the sun a couple days ago. And they were very extreme sun flares, and so I think that's what's causing it.
Oh.
I don't think it's a terrorist, because they didn't even know. I was reading they didn't even know what caused them, so usually you would think a terrorist attack. But I was just reading 2 days ago about these outrageous solar flares coming off the sun.
Wow.
And usually when something's going on with the sun, it affects us a couple days later.
Probably on Jim McCanney's site.
Yeah, and so, yeah, it could be that. It could be from the sun. I've been trying to prepare people. It could be this winter or next winter. But most of the winter, most of the states are going to be out of electricity. They're going to be out of heat. There's a lot of activity going on with our sun, and whenever something happens with our sun, it affects Earth. So I kind of keep one eye on them because I'm no way an expert on what's going on with the sun. You can listen to Jim McCanney or these guys, that follow the things going on with the sun and solar flares.
No, you have to. That's the point. You gotta keep your ear to the ground in all the different areas because that's just unfortunately the way it is because they can strike. They have control of everything, so they can strike in numerous ways. And if you're unprepared, you're going to be unhappy.
Well, that's the funny part because they always have all of their plans set and how they're going to do things, and then the Lord throws them a monkey wrench. He upsets their plans. He keeps them in chaos.
Oh, yeah, in derision, yeah.
Yeah, he does.
Totally.
And that's what's funny. I mean, just to see him start throwing in his monkey wrenches. And I know because in California, they were trying to get some kind of protest and gang riots going. And now they have no electricity. Ain't dime yet, folks. You know what I mean?
There you go.
It's just, that's the way they work. And it's the CIA who arms these gangs. And they're the ones who started the riots back in 91 in L.A.
Mm-hmm.
And so I know it was these clowns that are the ones arming the people down in Atlanta with AK-47s. Because there's no way anybody else can get their hands on one.
It's easy to give a few hundred AKs out there when you're used to putting dictators into power and funding armies with tens of thousands of people. So
Yeah.
of course they got tons of weapons. They're coming out with a movie now with Nicolas Cage, Lords of War. It's about a guy. I mean, they're just brazen about it now. About a guy who runs guns. They're going to tell you the whole story of what they do. I mean, it's just...
And they do. They always show you and tell you what they're doing. Everybody thinks it's fiction. Nobody believes it.
I tell you, I woke up in the summer of 2003 after 3 years of studying, about the right and the left, and I tell you, I'll never forget that night. And you've been a great educator since then. Thank you so much.
All right. Well, thank you.
And I hope you feel better.
Yeah, you know what? When I get on the yelling mode, my voice seems to be fine. When I get angry, because I just get downright angry when I think of Louisiana.
There's a lot to be angry about.
Yeah, I mean, it just broke my heart. I mean, especially these children being separated from their parents and just them losing everything they have because it was the government that did it. I mean, a hurricane doesn't make an abrupt 180 turn.
Oh, how about the one hanging off the coast of the Carolinas, just sort of sitting there? Yeah,
it's just going to sit here for a while until you guys get your act together, and then we're moving in. We're going to wait until all the government gets out, and whoever's still in that area is supposed to get out, and then we'll come in.
And that doesn't catch the average person's mind. They don't go, wow, I've never seen that before.
And then it will change directions on its own, just abruptly change directions. These things are totally steered, commanded.
Oh, of course.
And people can't pick that up. I mean, I don't even see that one coming for the Carolinas. I mean, maybe they're going to hit Charleston because they couldn't get it with a nuke because everybody came out with the info on it once the general leaked the bag on it. Because they wanted to do a nuking in Charleston off of a ship coming. Did you read about that? It was a drill that they were supposed to have. But the drill was supposed to go live.
I heard about it from you.
Yeah, okay. But it was supposed to go live. And so, maybe that's what this hurricane's supposed to do now. They still want to get their destruction over there.
I do know that a general quit over that. Well, they didn't quit. They got him out.
Yeah, they fire him, or they throw sex charges on him, or graffiti.
Yeah, 35 years in and that, all of a sudden sex charges. Yeah, right.
Yeah, yeah.